Hater Kurt here, and we're talking Madden 23 Legends rosters. If you're looking for the best one on PlayStation 5, this is the one you want to download. It's called the Legends Project, and it is done by someone named Prodigy 8583. The description calls it the gold standard, and I'm gonna tell you there's a good reason why they call it that. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. So I'll show you some of the teams here. I'm not going to go through everything. As you'll see, no matter what team you look at, you'll see players from all different eras. Current players that are still supposed to be on their all-time teams are there. Just about everybody that you can think should be included is there. Prodigy is clearly a big-time football historian. A lot of these Legends rosters, you see, they kind of stay stuck in one era, so they forget yesteryear players, or it leans too hard on yesteryear and doesn't give enough credit to current players. I think this is definitely the best mix that I've seen. Now, of course, there are going to be some areas where you may disagree and say, oh, I think this person should have been here instead of that person. Or, I would do my depth chart differently than he did his. Or maybe I would have picked a different face for this particular player than he chose. Maybe my ratings would have been a little bit different than the ratings that he chose. No matter what it is you say, it still is, I think, the most detailed Legends roster that you're going to find. There are more than 53 players on each roster. You can pick which style you want to play. So if you look at the depth chart and say you want to play a more modern experience, and you don't want to play with anybody like Sammy Bull or Sonny Jurgensen, you have RG3 here for the Commanders. It's pretty much the same kind of thing for every team. Our man Prodigy put so many players, especially quarterbacks, on this roster that no matter who you think is the best quarterback for that team and that team's history, you can play with them. You may say, oh, that person shouldn't be on the team. It's fine. You don't have to use that person, but they're there in the event that you do want to use it. I thought that was a really good approach to doing this roster. I'm going to show you a little bit of gameplay from some of these games, so you'll get an opportunity to see what I mean. It's going to be simulation gameplay, so I'm not going to go into Madden Cam, or the simulation cam, which I think is really cool. Anyway, just take a look. You start to get the feel for how cool this kind of Legends roster can be when you look at the introductions and you're seeing some of the players in Prodigy. Bro, you did a good job of putting them in uniforms that are in line with what they would have worn at that time. You see Sid Luckman with the single bar face mask, and that actually looked like Mike Singletary there. Of course, there's going to be the modern presentation because it is still Madden 23, but this is still really cool. I can't even tell you how impressed I am overall with the work and the way this came out. Devin Hester bringing the ball back against the Green Bay Packers on the kickoff. That's crazy. Take a look at another rivalry-style matchup. In the AFC East, the Miami Dolphins host the New England Patriots. Now, you can obviously put them in retro uniforms sometimes. It's great. It's already franchise mode ready. You might have to make some cuts here and there, or maybe take off the roster restrictions in your franchise mode. But then you have the option to play around with whatever uniforms they are going to wear and that sort of thing. Look, Dan Marino going against Tom Brady, and you got Bob Greasy over there. I want to see if we have use of people like Randy Moss, who had fantastic years with the Patriots, but his prime, you could argue, was still with the Minnesota Vikings. Is he on both of those teams? That's something that I have to look at. Whether or not you think that's a drawback or a positive, it's still a cool roster and approach. Watching this particular gameplay, we have the Dolphins and the Patriots playing in the rain in Miami. Dan Marino has the ball first going against this Patriots defense. He's gonna hand it off, though, to Ricky Williams. Ricky Williams gets stopped. The one thing I really wish you could do, and this of course does not fall on Prodigy, is I wish you could edit the head coaches in exhibition or just as a part of the actual roster. Unfortunately, you can't do that. But look at this prime Cam Newton playing for the Carolina Panthers. playing against the Vikings. But this is cool. If you're a franchise head like myself, I'm sure Dante Culpepper and others are on this team. There's Adrian Peterson. I don't see Randy Moss yet. That's Ahmad Rashad. Some of y'all didn't even know Ahmad Rashad used to play football, and quite well at that. But Ahmad Rashad's out here. It's a play fake to Adrian Peterson. He's going deep. That is Steve Jordan. There's no Moss here. He chose to put them on the Patriots. I know some of the Vikings fans might really feel some kind of way about that. Still, I definitely encourage you guys to go ahead and download this if this is your kind of thing. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.